8 hours a day. But I do think also, some people say you have to work at it 10,000 hours to master anything. And I think there's some truth to that. If you start adding it up, over how many years and how many days, you can get there. But that's real important. But there's all kinds of excuses and mind games, that we play. Same thing with composition. This is a composition orchestration class, really, but we do this to ourselves all the time with songwriting. We have an idea, right? And instead of just writing it down or recording it and remembering it and working on it, we just go, it's not that great anyway, right? There's a little voice in there. And that voice is what we have to kill that voice, Because no, it might be really great. It could be the next hit. And then the other voice is, and it's probably not even original anyway. I'm probably just ripping this off from somebody, right? You don't know that, especially if you've studied music. You know a lot of stuff. You know what's out there. Occasionally you do emulate something without knowing it, but not always. Yes, sir.
Some of us have that negative conscience that's in us saying it may not be good, but we still have to at least try to see whether it make a good hit or not.
Exactly. You got to try.
We all need that push.
Yes, and you got to get it from within, because it's so easy to just let it go and just say, hey, I'm just going to blow it off. It's work. It's work to sit down and craft that.
It's never good to jeopardize your career. It's never good.
Indeed. And really, the old saying, 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration is really true. You got that germ of an idea and it's killer, but you got to craft it out, and finish it and write it. And boy, that really applies to orchestration class, doesn't it?
Yes.
Well, let's listen to some of your orchestrations here real quick from yesterday. And this one is Brianna's on Ain't Nobody. I have the lights for us, please. Also the score here. Anything you think of that comes to mind that you might want to edit?
Well, one thing that I did hear from, I think it was Roger, he said that it would have been great to have more letters, just for them to know where to rehearse letters.
Right.
So just know where to come in certain parts and rehearse certain areas.
Yes.
I know that rehearsal letters. I know that the drummer said that he wanted me to say the style he wanted me to play it in.
Yeah,
I
you should have put something on there, say funky or whatever.
Yeah.
Something to tell them the style, yeah.
Yeah. And so, is there anything else you think they mentioned?
So those are two great things that are easy to fix.
Yeah.
Here's one little suggestion I had. This measure here, where letter C actually on your chart, da 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 and then it goes into the chorus, which you call letter D. You know, one ain't nobody. You know, that's your deal. So, to me, that seemed like redundant to do that twice. I think you could just drop one of those measures. You know, that's easy to do. Just get your measure tool, delete.
Okay.
Suggestion: don't have to do it, but think about it. Your chart. Because to me, it almost seemed like that it was an accident that it was put in there twice. That's the way it
No, it
sounded.
was on purpose, but.
Because when he goes, duh, it was on purpose.
It was on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that's your favorite part about the chart, I can get with that too. You know, I can understand that. Always, when it comes to your charts, your arrangements, your compositions, I make suggestions. You know, sometimes they're usually pretty decent, but you know, sometimes you know you got to take a stand. But that's just kind of how that sounded. And you know, that could be the whole point. It's like, yeah, I wanted it to sound kind of redundant, kind of like rewind, you know? Yeah, okay, cool. But that's only the other thing I can think of. You know, it's always interesting to see like how they play it too, and the bass part especially to me, you know, drives me crazy when the bass player is not nailing it, but it happens. But whenever the band gets off a little bit, you know, if it's my chart, I take responsibility. You know, I don't just go like, hey, what's the matter with you guys? You know, why can't you play? I'm like, man, maybe I could write it more clear. You know, now I may be owning too much of that, but really I think that's what it is to be a writer. You know, you just got to say. Sometimes, many times, this is the case. You only get one shot. But the cool thing is, if you become a good writer, like I've gone out and hired, you know, really good players, like Roger caliber, you know, and done a live concert where there's no rehearsal. Because really the budget is, you know, it might be a couple $100 a person to pay the band. It's not really enough to ask real professional players to rehearse. And if you have really good charts, really good writing, guess what? They don't need to rehearse. I mean, rehearsal always helps a little, but you can have a really effective concert with just reading it down. So, but you got to take the responsibility as a writer. You know, that's where having those rehearsal letters, you know, in the right place on the left side of the page, and everything kind of making sense. You know, it's like, oh, we're coming up to this phrase here, you know, and it really feels like, boom, we're where we're supposed to be. So anything you can do like that is helpful. Okay. Any other thoughts, Brianna?